Everybody, welcome back to the show, to this podcast. I know it's been a while in terms of me uploading a normal video. I've been out of town. I've been doing some live videos. So on my channel, I have some more recent videos of actual live streams. But hopefully you guys have been doing good. I appreciate you all who are tuning in to the show, the channel. I appreciate my new followers. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. On this video, I'm going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates for a little bit, probably around 15 minutes or so. There's some big news that came out earlier today. By the time you see this, it will probably be later tonight. But I want to kind of briefly talk about that news, talk briefly about what they've been doing this season, because it's pretty worth noting. It's pretty exciting, and I'm going to say it's a fun time right now to be a Pirate fan. But for those who are new to the channel, just a little heads up. Here, obviously, I'm a Pittsburgh fan, really all around, so love to talk about that and those type of sports or other things around some of those sport leagues that aren't Pittsburgh related, NBA playoffs as well. So I try to keep up best I can on the channel. Sometimes it's tough. I also do some other stuff with a friend of mine, and then I do another Steelers podcast on my channel and his channel as well. So, but for those who are new, welcome. For those who have been here for a while, welcome back. Thank you all for your support. Let's talk about the Pirates. The Pirates right now, and this is what I'm going to say. As a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, it's a fun time. It has been, it's rough, it's hard, and we can look back at the last, let's say, since 2016. The Pirates started to, after their 3 years of playoff runs, they started to, come 2016, they started to slowly get rid of some of those guys. And then come around 2017 and especially 2018, really it's ultimately a different team. And they start the rebuild process. They blow it all up. And it just has seemed like over those years, it's just when's the future going to come? Because we know how they operate. They have operated all these years in the sense of where they would just bring in reclamation projects through free agency on one-year contracts. We know that they hardly really spend much money in free agency to make the team better. We know that in terms of their own players, once their arbitration comes to an end, or it's close to being over, they trade those guys because they don't want to pay them high dollar. And that's what's made it so frustrating as a Pirate fan for the last, let's say, 6-7 years. Because, let's say the last 7 years. Because after 3 years of playoff berths, 13, 14, 15, and then they just do whatever they do, and the future is never really here. The future never really came. So then new management comes in 2020 and makes some moves with trading Starling Marte and a few other guys, and they rebuild their farm system into a top farm system. And now we're starting to see, we saw a little bit last year, we're going to start seeing a little bit this year, of some of these high-end prospects that are ready. And now we're starting to see some of that fruition. The Pirates are 16-7 as I speak right now. They're first in the NL Central. They're the hottest team in baseball beside the Tampa Bay Rays. They have the second best record in baseball from as I record this. And it's the first time in however many years it's been that the Pirates have had this kind of start. Even during their 3 years of playoffs, they never started like this. And it's exciting. It's fun. It's fun when there's buzz around the baseball team over the summertime here. It's fun when the stadiums are filled. You got a great stadium. The Pirates do have a great fan base, but the fan base has been split over the years because of the ownership, because of certain moves, because of things not being done. The big news that happened earlier today is the Pirates finally did something that they have never done. They gave Bryan Reynolds the highest paid contract in Pirate history. Last year, they gave Bryan Hayes the richest deal in Pirate history. This year, it's Bryan Reynolds on an 8-year deal worth up to $120 million. And not only is that great for Bryan Reynolds, congrats to Bryan Reynolds. Bryan Reynolds has been a guy ever since he's gotten here, has produced, has been a guy you build your future around. And I always said, look, if they trade Bryan Reynolds, this future they're supposedly building to, again, it's not going to come. Bryan Reynolds needed to be a part of this future the Pirates were building to, and they got it done. There was a little bit of a holdup over spring training. Bryan Reynolds wanted an opt-out clause. I don't blame him. The Pirates were afraid to give him that because they didn't only want 1 year of control. I don't blame them. So they came to terms. They came to agreements. Bryan Reynolds is seeing the direction the team's going. I know he sees the talent here, the talent coming up, the great start. Derek Shelton gets a new extension. Things are starting to change, it seems like. And it's honestly such a great feeling as a Pirate fan, man. And the thing is that if you're a Pirate fan and you've stuck around through these really hard times, the payoff is going to feel that much better. We don't know how good they're going to be the rest of this year. We don't really know where they're going to be come the summer. But right now, there's a lot of buzz. Right now, there's a lot of excitement. Right now, there's a lot of players that are fun to watch. And O'Neal Cruz isn't even a part of that right now because he's out until the end of July, early August, which sucks. But it is what it is. So we'll see how much more, how much more steps this team takes. But I said, look, if they can find themselves staying afloat over the summer, and guys like Endy Rodriguez and Quinn Priester, and some of these other guys, maybe a Nick Gonzalez come up eventually, that's going to bring a lot of excitement. Maybe they make a couple moves as well, and they make something out of the season because nobody expected the Pirates to do this, number one. Nobody expected the Pirates to be at this level yet. And seeing them play hard, playing all in, it's a great clubhouse. Guys are wanting to just go out and play, and we're seeing guys like, obviously Reynolds, but we're seeing Ke'Bryan Hayes hit the ball well, Andrew McCutchen coming back, bringing that leadership, playing at a very productive level. Jack Sawinski, Carlos Santana, who they brought in this offseason, even a guy like Rodolfo Castro hitting the ball well. It's exciting. The starting pitching, Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller seems like he's turning into that guy that the Pirates have been wanting. Last year, he was starting to do that. This year, it's even adding on, and it's great to see. Roansy Contreras, I'm big on him. I think he can be a high-end pitcher for us for a long time. You look at Johan Oviedo, who they got from the St. Louis Cardinals last year. He's been dominant in pretty much every outing. Rich Hill, other than his one bad outing, he's been a productive 5-inning guy. Vince Velasquez, other than his one outing earlier in the season, he just came off a 7-inning, 10-strikeout performance. The back end of their bullpen, David Bednar, Colin Holderman, Dari Moreta. Those are three guys right there that have been holding it down. So it's really great and fun to see. And obviously, there's going to be times, the baseball season's so long, we know there's going to be some bumps. We know there's going to be some losing streaks. That's the way it goes. But right now, as a Pirate fan, man, it's a time, it's a feeling that we have not had in a long time because we're seeing change. Not only just because the team's off to a great start, and the best start they've had since somewhere in the 90s. But we're seeing change with some of the direction of the organization. Bryan Reynolds getting the big contract. Last year, Ke'Bryan Hayes getting the big contract, right? We're seeing Ben Cherington, the GM, and the job he's done in the sense of making the moves for and bolstering that farm system. And now these guys are starting to come up. So this is not only just a great thing in the sense of feeling good right now and starting to see change with the organization, but this is something for the upcoming players, the current players, seeing a guy like Bryan Reynolds get what he deserves and getting the big contract. That makes them feel good because now they're seeing, okay, the Pirates and this organization, they're starting to pay their guys. They're starting to go in the direction that they need to be going. And that should be a great feeling. That's a great feeling for the clubhouse. Hold on. It's a great feeling for the clubhouse. That's a great feeling for these upcoming players, for these current players. That's a great thing in terms of outside guys wanting to come and play here. And obviously, it's a great thing for your fan base. Because now we're seeing The Pirates have been talking about the last couple years of a certain timeline of wanting to be competitive, making moves, bolstering their farm system. Now those guys are coming up. And we're starting to see, especially with this Reynolds contract, this might be the changing of the guard, folks. Something that we've been clamoring for years, it might finally start be happening. That's what it seems like. So it makes me excited as a fan because now Bryan Reynolds is going to be here. Not just that Bryan Reynolds is going to be here long term, but this future that they've been trying to build toward, this future they've been talking about, it seems like it's starting to finally come. Because now you have Bryan Reynolds locked down, you have Brian Hayes locked down, two guys that need to be a part of that. You look at some of the talent coming up now, that is up now, that's going to be coming up. It's going to be a good thing to build around. And with the Pirates, we know the way they've done business. And now we're seeing news like today. It's just like, dude, like it's just such a breath of fresh air. It's what we've been wanting to see for all these years. And now it's finally happening. And it gets me excited for their future now. Because when the news came out of Reynolds wanting to trade months ago, it's like, okay, well, here we go again. Same old Pirates. Trying to build to the future. The future never comes. Because you don't give people what they want. Because you trade them. Because you don't pay the dollar. Now it's a whole different ballgame. Now you're paying that top dollar. Now you're keeping your guys around. Now you're paying your top guys to stay here long term. And now you can finally start building to what you're trying to build toward. This future you've been wanting to build toward the last 3-4 years is finally starting to come. And Bryan Reynolds needed to be a part of it, and he's going to be. Now, we obviously want to see them continue to keep this going in terms of free agency, right? In terms of continuing to keep your important guys, your stable guys around. But it's great. It's exciting news. It's exciting for the fan base. It's exciting for Reynolds. Obviously, we know this is exciting for the whole organization, the clubhouse. Things are finally changing. Things are finally going the direction that they've been needing to go. And it's great. We'll see how the Pirates continue to do throughout this win streak, throughout this great start. But hey, that's what I'm saying. If they keep themselves afloat, they keep themselves competitive, O'Neal Cruz comes back, you make a couple moves, you can make something out of this year. And then as you're going into next season, right, you have a couple of your other prospects that are up this year, the guys that it's another year for these other guys that are up now. You go into free agency, make a couple moves. You're finding yourself in the position that you were wanting to find yourself in 3-4 years ago of this future that you've been talking about. And it's starting to come along right now. So I'm excited, as I'm sure every Pirate fan watching this is excited, and we all deserve this. So to those who have stuck around through these hard years, kudos. You even look at people who have been Pirate fans since the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and have stuck around all that time. The payoff is going to feel great. But this is just fantastic news all around. This is exciting. And it's really just something of kind of hope. Really in the sense of the Pirates really starting to turn around as an organization. And let's hope they keep this going. But it's just absolutely fantastic. They've been very fun to watch this year. There's and just really the buzz around the ball club that hasn't been there for a long time is around right now, and I hope is going to be around longer term for what the Pirates are trying to build toward. And locking down Reynolds, as I said, it needed to happen. It needed to happen because he's such a key part of what you're trying to build to. And it seems like what they have been trying to build to these last 3-4 years in this rebuild with new management is starting to come along. It's starting to really get there. And now you have Reynolds locked in officially for that, and Hayes is locked in for that. It's exciting. It's an exciting time right now to be a Pirate fan. It's a fun time. It's a great feeling. And hopefully they continue to play hard and do what they're doing throughout this season and can have some consistency. But this is really something that we can really start to see the Pirates really start getting in the direction and doing what they should have been doing all this long time ago, finally coming around. So I'm excited. I'm excited about their future. Reynolds is locked in now officially. Hayes is here. O'Neal Cruz is going to be a future star in this league. You look at Jack Sawinski right now. I'm still not really quite sure when it comes to him in certain areas, but I like him. He plays hard. He can play some good defense. He's got a lot of pop in his bat. He's got to get the ball more, and he's got to get more contact on the ball, and he's been doing that better. Connor Joe this year has been a lot of fun to watch. You have a guy in Endy Rodriguez, like I said, coming up. Henry Davis, your first-round pick from a couple years ago, is going to come up eventually. Quinn Priester, your first-round pick from 2019 or whatever year, is going to come up. Nick Gonzalez as well, another first-round pick. They have the first overall pick this year in Dylan Cruz, who's an absolute stud at the plate and is going to be a big part of this future if that's the guy that they decide to take. Termarr Johnson, their first-round pick last year, he's going to as well come up in the next probably couple years. And he's got an incredible swing. So that's what I mean. They have good talent right now, but these guys come up this year and even in the next year or two, there's a lot of talent there. But the thing is you got to spend some money in free agency and add to that young talent, right? That's what you got to do, and hopefully they do that. But I'm excited about their future for all those reasons. They're going in the direction they need to be going, especially extending Reynolds. I'm excited. I'm excited to continue to watch them throughout this season, not just because they're fun, but really seeing the progression. And I feel like myself and probably a lot of us as Pirate fans, we can really have confidence in a good Pirate future coming around soon. So we'll really see what they do. We'll see if they can really stay afloat, stay consistent. But I'm telling you, man, like this Reynolds deal really might be that solidified factor in the sense of, okay, Pirates are serious. The Pirates are really wanting to change things and how they do things. And long time coming, but really, it really seems like it's that catalyst now that they're changing their way. They're doing what they got to do, and they're serious about building a winner. They're serious about building something here. And I'm excited, as all of us Pirate fans should be. So wanted to come on here and talk about that, guys. Hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, guys, on the channel. For those who are new, I appreciate it. Still trying to grow. We're at 115 subs, which is exciting. Would love to start going live at some point, getting you guys involved as well in the show. Try to be consistent as much as I can on this. But we'll be talking about the Pirates throughout the rest of this year. The NFL draft's coming up. We'll be talking about the Steelers. With the NBA playoffs still going on, we'll be doing that. Guys, also follow. It's going to be in the link below. Follow my other podcast with my friend Z. Who Are These Guys is our other podcast. We talk about plethora of everything, from sports, from entertainment, gaming, pop culture, you name it. We talk about it. We do a show usually twice a week, so give that a follow, guys. But your guys' support means everything. I want to incorporate all you guys into the show at some point when I can get more consistent, when we can continue to get more followers, more people here, man, because I want you guys to be a part of the show as well. So thank you guys for your support. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we will be back sometime after the Steelers draft. We'll be talking about it, guys, so stay tuned, and we'll see you later.